Can you drink beer in a beer commercial?
You know you're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial?
Since when?
You gotta wait till it's done. Oh,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
So if you didn't know what I was talking about this Shane Gillis Post Malone Bud Light commercial. And obviously, as you just heard, Shane Gillis poses the comment/question, you can't drink in a beer commercial. And I thought, there is absolutely zero chance that this is a true statement. There's no way there's never been a beer commercial where you can't drink a beer. And I was like, I don't watch TV a lot, and the only reason I saw this ad is because I am poor and was watching Hulu with ads because that's all I can do. And they are so insufferable with their ads that it happens every 15 minutes in a show. So 3 times every episode of a show, I would see Shane Gillis tell Post Malone, you can't drink beer in a beer commercial. And I thought, there is no way. So I did what any normal person would do. Let it go. Just kidding. I watched an unholy amount of beer commercials. I mean, other than the people who made beer commercials, I've probably watched more beer commercials than anybody on the planet. Thanks to these two motherfuckers and something that comedian said. And so my thought was, hey, so let's test that. And so I did. I probably consumed about 2 to 2.5 hours of beer commercials. I mean, these are the main sits I watched because they were the main sits I remember seeing. I mean, the amount of times I heard dilly dilly today is too many times for a normal person to hear dilly dilly in their lifetime. I watched so many Bud Light ads because I thought it would just be super funny if there was a Bud Light ad that I was able to find that showed people in the Bud Light ad drinking Bud Light. And I couldn't. And, which sucked because that would have been really funny for the video. But I probably watched 35 minutes of Bud Light ads alone and didn't find anything. Now, my source of looking was not very great. It was literally go to YouTube, type in Bud Light commercials, and just watch them. Watch compilations, watch top 10 best beer commercials. You know, I watched as many as I could find just looking for something that was someone drinking beer in a beer commercial. And I was like, okay. Didn't find it in Bud Light. I went to Corona because Corona's another big one that I see often. But I didn't have hopes for Corona because a lot of the Corona ads I remember were like Snoop Dogg talking to people on the beach. Like Snoop Dogg and Andy Samberg, I think it was. Just chilling on beach chairs talking about Corona. And to the best of my recap abilities, I remembered that they didn't really drink in those commercials. And I thought, you know what? Dos Equis. I swear they were drinking Dos Equis in Dos Equis commercials. So I watched about 15 of the most interesting man on the planet fire commercials. And I will say there are some really, really, really good beer ads that I just completely forgot about watching. Like, I don't even think about beer ads, but they were good beer ads. I watched Coors Light ads, Budweiser ads, Heineken ads, Miller Lite ads. Oh my god, just so many commercials. And most of them were Super Bowl commercials. There were a lot of old Super Bowl commercial beer ads that I watched. The Heineken one where they make a walkable fridge. The Heineken one where they have the walk-in freezer. It's full of Heineken. And I was starting to lose hope. And then I found this ad in this video. 15 best Setzi beer commercials part 2. ... 100% tariffs. And I'm not proud that I got to this point in my beer commercial watching experience, but Pure Blonde, I'll just show you the ad. Ha 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 ha! You see that, Shane Gillis? You see that? You can drink beer in a beer commercial. And just in case you missed it, just in case. And this is purely in case you missed it, right? Right here. Purely in case. In 3, in 2, in 1. And they're drinking beer in a beer commercial. Holy fuck, we found one. And all it took was going to the 15 best, sexiest beer commercials of all time. Now, I don't know who's watching this on YouTube, realistically. I mean, shout out, Mining Asteroids for making this video and putting it together. I mean, honestly, awesome. I'm using your video for a completely different purpose. But also, like, who is watching 15 best sexiest beer commercials? Because he made a part 2, which means people watch part 1. But if you thought it was just one and you're sitting there thinking, oh, well, let's test that. That's just one. That's an outlier. You can't drink in a beer commercial just because one company did it. Pure Blonde, also an Australian-based beer company. Just because they did it, that doesn't mean you can drink beer in a beer ad. Okay, well, again, Mining Asteroids about to come in clutch. Mining Asteroids about to come in clutch with Leo's beer. I know you see that same video 1, same video 2, and you're like, oh, did you just put 2 ads together, the same one? Oh, nah, they went back to back. Watch this. Right after that Pure Blonde ad. Yup. Hold on. Rerun it. Wait. Rerun it again. Wait. Rerun it. Hold on. I went a little far back. Pure Blonde. Shout out them for the first beer. But rerun that. Oh. Rerun it again. Hey now. To me, that looks like drinking beer in a beer commercial. Shout out Leo's beer. But wait. Oh, they did it. Well, that's an outlier for that company. You know, they only did it once. I didn't even have to go to a new search engine. In the same video, they're drinking the beer in a different Leo beer ad. In a different one. They are drinking it. I was like, this company from Thailand. This is a Thailand beer. They did it. My hours of searching on the internet were not useless. I wouldn't have had to make a 30-second video saying, yeah, Shane Gillis is right. No, my friends. Leo's beer, they did it. Now, it is from Thailand, and we're never going to see one of that on our TV here in the United States. But you can drink beer in a beer ad. I've shown you two companies that have beer drinking in their beer ads. And I found all 3 of them in 15 Best Sexy Beer Commercials Part 2, which means they're at least top 30 beer commercials. Sexy beer commercials, they're in the top 30. Which, you know, set sells, baby. Set sells, especially beer. Because your target market is fucking dudes. And dudes know what they like. So, let me tell you something. But it wasn't enough to just have 3 in one video. No, this absolute monster has a 4th one. Carlton Dry. Which, by the way, this might be the most bizarre beer ad I have ever watched in my life. And just because of how bizarre it is, I just want you guys to watch the whole beer ad. But holy shit. And I mean, it's a long one.
Miller Lite tastes great.
It is a weird ad. So just enjoy this.
Drink the drink of a distant land. It's a beer. Carlton Dry. Imported from Drylandia.
So I know you just watched that and went, what the fuck? And just because of how weird it is, you probably missed it. But just because I know you missed it. Here you go. Here it is again. Muted so you don't have to listen to it. Here it goes. 3, 2, 1. We're drinking beer in a beer ad. Let's go. Boys, you can drink beer in a beer ad. Bring back drinking beer in beer ads. Let's see more drinking beer in beer ads. Like, why not get someone completely plastered for a beer ad? And not to take away from this whole topic, but can we just talk about the sci-fi CGI in this beer commercial and how it's been better than some of our sci-fi movies recently? Like, holy shit. A rocket horse going through a portal, having food come out of the left side of its ass, and the scenery is impeccable. That, by far, the weirdest beer commercial I had to watch in the 2.5 hours I spent watching beer commercials. However, it did help me go, hey, you can drink beer in a beer ad. So there was 4 different ads, all in this 15 best sexy beer commercials part 2. So shout out Mining Asteroids for being a goat making this video. Because without him, I promise you, I was not looking up Carlton Dry beer commercials. I wasn't finding that. I wasn't looking up Leo beer commercials. I definitely wasn't finding that. And I definitely wasn't looking up Pure Blonde beer. I had never heard of those 3 beers before. But they exist. And they make beer ads. So we tested it. And we found out that Shane Gillis lied in a Bud Light commercial. What does that tell you? That I have way too much fucking time on my hand and spent way too long watching beer commercials. Like, way too long. Like, unbelievably too long. Like, no person should ever watch that many beer commercials in a row. It's probably not good for your mental health. That being said, we got to figure out what to do next. Because there's no way I'm watching more beer commercials. So, I mean, I will watch more beer commercials if there's something you really want me to test in beer commercials. I think my next video is going to figure out who is the best Robin. I know, crazy sidestep. But I keep seeing a lot of people say Tim Drake. And my first thought is, I agree with you, but let's test that. So that's what we're doing next time. After that, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Drop a comment of what you want to see next, and we'll go from there. So until then, you guys have a great one. Peace.